Most people over 60 think the secret to staying steady on their feet is clocking more steps on their daily walks. Wrong. Research from physical therapy centers across the country reveals that traditional walking, while beneficial for cardiovascular health, does virtually nothing to prevent the #1 cause of serious injury in seniors, falls from balance loss. Here's what they don't tell you. Your inner ear, the tiny organ responsible for spatial awareness, starts deteriorating after age 50, but most doctors never test it until after you've already taken a tumble. Even more alarming, the American Physical Therapy Association reports that standard balance assessments miss 70% of fall risks in people over 60. Think about that for a moment. 7 out of 10 seniors who will fall within the next year would pass a routine balance check with flying colors. The reason? These tests measure static balance, your ability to stand still, but falls happen during movement, transitions, and moments when your body has to react quickly to unexpected changes. Now here's the part that might surprise you. The most effective balance training doesn't happen on flat ground at all. Japanese rehabilitation centers have pioneered 7 specific movements that challenge your stability system in ways that mirror real-life situations. These aren't complicated gymnastics routines. They're simple targeted exercises that retrain your brain's relationship with gravity itself. But here's the kicker, and this is the one that even shocked the physical therapists I've worked with. The single most powerful predictor of whether you'll maintain your independence after age 70 isn't your cardiovascular fitness, your muscle mass, or even your bone density. It's something called dynamic postural control, your body's ability to maintain stability while moving through space. And the good news? This can be dramatically improved in as little as 4 weeks with the right approach. Before we dive into these 7 game-changing movements, I'm curious about your experience. Drop a comment and let me know how confident you feel on uneven surfaces like gravel driveways or thick carpet. Do you find yourself reaching for walls or railings more often than you used to? Let me share why traditional walking, despite all its benefits, leaves massive gaps in your stability training. When you walk on flat, predictable surfaces, your brain essentially goes on autopilot. The pattern becomes so automatic that it actually reduces the neural connections responsible for quick balance adjustments. It's like always driving the same route to the grocery store versus navigating a new city. One keeps your navigation skills sharp, the other lets them atrophy. The 7 movements I'm about to share with you work differently. They're based on what physical therapists call perturbation training, deliberately challenging your balance in controlled ways so your reflexes stay lightning quick when they need to be. Each movement targets a different component of your stability system, from your visual tracking to your ankle strength to your core's ability to make micro-adjustments. Movement number 7 is called the weight shift walk, and it might seem deceptively simple, but it addresses one of the most common fall scenarios for people over 60. Picture this. You're walking across your living room when you step on the edge of a throw rug. Instead of your foot landing where your brain expected, it drops half an inch lower and shifts sideways. Your body has about 0.2 of a second to adjust before you lose your balance completely. The weight shift walk trains exactly this scenario. Start by standing with your feet hip-width apart, arms relaxed at your sides. Now imagine you're walking across a narrow stream on stepping stones. Lift your right foot and hold it in the air for 3 seconds, letting your body learn to balance entirely on your left leg. Here's the crucial part. Don't just stand there like a statue. Gently shift your weight forward and backward over your standing leg, feeling how your ankle and calf muscles automatically adjust to keep you stable. After 3 seconds, place your right foot down but not directly in front of you like a normal step. Instead, place it slightly to the right, as if you're stepping around an invisible obstacle. Pause again for 3 seconds on this leg, shifting your weight in small circles. Continue this pattern for 10 steps, then reverse direction. Margaret, a 72-year-old retired librarian from Phoenix, came to me after catching her toe on a sidewalk crack and nearly falling into traffic. She'd been walking 2 miles every morning for 15 years, but felt increasingly unsteady on anything but perfectly smooth pavement. After practicing the weight shift walk for just 2 weeks, She told me she felt confident enough to walk her dog again in the neighborhood park with its uneven dirt paths and scattered leaves. The key is progression. Start with 3-second holds, then work up to 5 seconds as your confidence builds. If you feel too wobbly at first, practice near a sturdy chair or wall, but try not to grab on unless you absolutely need to. The slight instability is exactly what retrains your balance reflexes. Here's what happens in your brain during this exercise. Your cerebellum, the part responsible for coordinated movement, starts forming new neural pathways between your visual system, your inner ear, and your muscle responses. Think of it like updating the software in your body's balance computer. The more often you challenge it with controlled instability, the faster it processes and responds to real-world situations. Movement number 6 takes this concept even further with what we call the Tandem Stance Progression. This movement addresses a critical weakness that develops as we age, the inability to maintain balance when our base of support gets narrow. Every time you step off a curb, get out of a car, or navigate a crowded space, you're temporarily balancing on a narrow base. Most people over 60 have lost this skill without realizing it. Stand with your feet together, toes pointing straight ahead. Now slide your right foot directly in front of your left, heel touching toe, as if you're walking on a tightrope. This is your starting position. The challenge isn't just to stand there, it's to maintain this position while turning your head slowly from left to right and back again. Your inner ear hates this combination of movements, which is exactly why it's so effective. Here's where it gets interesting. While you're holding this tandem stance, close your eyes for 5 seconds at a time. This forces your body to rely entirely on proprioception, your internal sense of body position, rather than visual cues. Most people are shocked by how much harder this becomes without sight. That's because we unconsciously use visual references, the edge of a table, the corner of a wall, to help maintain balance. When those disappear, your deep stabilizing muscles have to work much harder. Robert, a 68-year-old former construction worker, struggled with this exercise initially. He'd spent decades working on scaffolding and rooftops, but after retirement, his balance confidence plummeted. He couldn't even stand in the tandem position for 10 seconds with his eyes open. But here's the remarkable part. After practicing this progression daily for 3 weeks, he not only mastered the eyes-closed version, but felt steady enough to climb a ladder again to clean his gutters. Start with 30 seconds in the basic tandem stance. Eyes open, no head movement. When that feels solid, add the head turns. Once you're comfortable with head turns, try closing your eyes for 5-second intervals. The final progression is holding the position with eyes closed, while slowly moving your arms in different directions, up overhead, out to the sides, behind your back. The beauty of this exercise is how it integrates multiple balance systems simultaneously. Your visual system learns to work with unstable input. Your vestibular system in your inner ear gets stronger, and your proprioceptive sensors in your feet and ankles become more sensitive. It's like cross-training for your balance system. But here's something most people don't realize about balance training. The improvements happen remarkably quickly, but they also disappear just as fast if you stop practicing. Unlike cardiovascular fitness, which can maintain some benefits for weeks after you stop exercising, balance skills need constant reinforcement. Think of it like learning a musical instrument. You can get dramatically better in a short time, but if you don't practice regularly, your skills fade quickly. Movement number 5 introduces rotational challenges with the standing figure 8. This addresses one of the most dangerous fall scenarios, losing balance while turning. Statistics show that over 40% of falls in people over 60 happen during turning movements, usually when reaching for something while rotating the torso. The standing figure 8 trains your body to maintain stability while moving through complex rotational patterns. Start by standing with your feet slightly wider than hip-width apart, arms extended out to your sides at shoulder height. Now imagine you're drawing a large figure 8 in the air with your right hand, keeping your arms straight but allowing your torso to rotate naturally with the movement. Here's the critical part. While your upper body is drawing this figure 8, your lower body stays planted and stable. This creates a separation between your upper and lower body that mirrors real-life movements, like reaching into a high cabinet while your feet stay in place or looking over your shoulder while walking. The figure 8 pattern is specifically chosen because it challenges balance in multiple planes of movement. Most balance exercises only work in one direction, forward and back or side to side. But real life happens in 3 dimensions, and your balance system needs to be prepared for complex, multi-directional challenges. After 30 seconds with your right arm, switch to your left. Then try the advanced version, both arms drawing figure 8s simultaneously but in opposite directions. This creates what physical therapists call cognitive dual tasking, forcing your brain to coordinate complex movements while maintaining postural stability. Linda, a 65-year-old yoga instructor, thought she had excellent balance until she tried this exercise. Despite decades of practice with traditional balance poses, she found the figure 8 movement incredibly challenging. The difference, she realized, was that yoga poses are typically held in static positions, while this exercise demands dynamic stability during movement. After incorporating the standing figure 8 into her daily routine, she noticed improvements not just in her balance but in her overall coordination and body awareness. The neurological benefits of rotational training extend far beyond balance. When you challenge your body to maintain stability during rotation, you're strengthening the connections between your brain's movement centers and your postural control system. This has been linked to improved reaction times, better spatial awareness, and even enhanced cognitive function in older adults. Now here's where things get really interesting. Movement number 4 introduces what rehabilitation specialists call reactive balance training with the step and reach combination. Unlike the previous exercises that challenge predictable balance scenarios, this movement trains your body to respond to unexpected perturbations, the kind that cause real-world falls. Position yourself arm's length away from a wall, facing parallel to it. Place your hand lightly on the wall for initial support, but remember, the goal is to use this support less and less as you improve. Now take a large step forward with your right foot, landing in a lunge position but keeping most of your weight on your back left leg. Here's where the magic happens. From this lunge position, reach your right arm forward as far as you can, as if you're trying to grab something just out of reach. This forward reach shifts your center of gravity beyond your base of support, creating exactly the kind of instability that leads to falls in real life. Your back leg and core muscles have to work intensely to prevent you from falling forward. Hold this reach for 3 seconds, then slowly return to standing. Repeat 5 times, then switch to the other leg. The key is making the reach challenging enough that you feel slightly off balance but controlled enough that you can always return to stable standing. What makes this exercise so effective is how it mimics common fall scenarios. Reaching for a dropped item while walking, stepping off a curb that's higher than expected, or navigating around furniture in dim lighting. All of these situations require your body to quickly adjust when your center of gravity moves beyond your normal base of support. Thomas, a 71-year-old retired teacher, had developed a habit of shuffling his feet and taking very small steps after a minor fall in his kitchen 6 months earlier. His confidence was shattered and he'd started avoiding activities he previously enjoyed. The step and reach exercise initially terrified him, but with gradual progression, it rebuilt not just his physical balance but his psychological confidence in his body's ability to recover from unstable positions. The progression for this exercise is crucial for safety and effectiveness. Start with smaller steps and shorter reaches, keeping your hand on the wall for light support. As your confidence builds, increase the step length and reach distance while relying less on the wall. The advanced version eliminates wall support entirely and adds head movements while holding the reach position. Here's the fascinating neuroscience behind reactive balance training. When you deliberately place yourself in controlled, unstable positions, you're essentially teaching your nervous system that instability is manageable, not dangerous. This reduces the fear-based muscle tension that actually increases fall risk in many older adults. The more comfortable you become with controlled instability, the more efficiently your body responds to unexpected balance challenges. Movement number 3 shifts focus to lateral stability with the side step and hold sequence. This addresses a critical gap in most balance training programs: the ability to maintain stability during sideways movements and weight transfers. Most falls don't happen while walking straight ahead. They occur during direction changes, side steps, and lateral reaches. Start in a comfortable standing position with your feet hip-width apart. Now take a large step to your right, landing with your right foot about 2 feet away from your left. As you step, allow your body weight to shift entirely onto your right leg while lifting your left foot completely off the ground. This isn't just a weight shift, it's a complete single-leg stance with a lateral component. The challenge is holding this position for 5 seconds while maintaining perfect posture. No leaning to either side, no letting your hip drop, no grabbing onto anything for support. Your standing leg, particularly the muscles around your hip and ankle, have to work intensely to maintain stability in this lateral position. After 5 seconds, slowly bring your left foot back to the starting position, but don't just place it down and relax. Control the movement, using your right leg strength to guide your body back to center. This controlled return is just as important as the initial step for building functional balance strength. Repeat this sequence 5 times to the right, then 5 times to the left. The lateral component challenges balance systems that forward and backward movements simply don't touch. Your hip abductors, the muscles that stabilize your pelvis during single-leg stance, get significantly stronger with this type of training. Patricia, a 69-year-old retired nurse, came to me after repeatedly catching her hip on door frames and furniture corners. She'd developed an unconscious fear of moving sideways and had started walking with a noticeably wide gait to avoid any lateral movements. The side step and hold exercise initially felt impossible to her, but within 4 weeks of daily practice, she was navigating crowded spaces with confidence again. The beauty of lateral balance training is how quickly it transfers to real-world activities. Getting in and out of cars, stepping over obstacles, navigating tight spaces, all of these daily activities become significantly easier and safer when your lateral stability improves. But here's what really surprised the physical therapy researchers studying lateral balance training. People who master single-leg lateral stability show dramatic improvements in their overall confidence and activity levels, even beyond what you'd expect from the physical improvements alone. The psychological impact of knowing you can handle sideways movements seems to unlock a broader sense of physical confidence. The progression for this exercise follows a clear path. Start with shorter side steps and use a wall or sturdy chair for light fingertip support if needed. As you improve, increase the step distance and eliminate support. The advanced version adds arm movements while holding the single-leg stance, and the expert level incorporates head turns and eye movements to challenge your visual balance integration. Movement number 2 introduces what might be the most game-changing element of this entire sequence: the dynamic heel-to-toe walk with obstacles. This exercise bridges the gap between controlled balance training and real-world navigation challenges. It's one thing to practice balance in your living room. It's another to maintain stability while navigating uneven terrain, changing surfaces, and unexpected obstacles. Set up a straight line on the floor using masking tape about 10 feet long. Now gather 3 or 4 small objects, books, shoes, pillows, anything that creates a minor obstacle about 4 to 6 inches high. Place these randomly along and beside your tape line, not directly on it, but close enough that you'll need to navigate around them. Start at one end of the tape line in the tandem stance position, heel touching toe. Now, walk the entire length of the line, maintaining this heel-to-toe pattern while navigating around your obstacles. When you encounter an obstacle, you can't just step over it normally. You must maintain the tandem walking pattern while stepping around, which means taking lateral steps, backward steps, or wider circumnavigation movements, all while keeping your balance challenges high. This exercise is remarkable because it combines multiple balance skills simultaneously, You're maintaining a narrow base of support through the heel-to-toe walking, adding dynamic movement challenges through the navigation requirements, and incorporating decision-making and visual processing as you plan your route around obstacles. The cognitive component cannot be overstated. Real-world balance isn't just physical. It's a complex integration of physical stability, visual processing, route planning, and split-second decision-making. When you're walking down a sidewalk and encounter a crack, a puddle, and another pedestrian all within a few seconds, your brain has to process multiple inputs and adjust your balance and gait accordingly. Frank, a 74-year-old former postal worker, had maintained good physical fitness through retirement but found himself increasingly hesitant in crowded or cluttered environments. Grocery stores, busy sidewalks, even his own garage felt overwhelming because of all the navigation decisions required. The dynamic heel-to-toe walk with obstacles rebuilt not just his physical stability but his confidence in processing and responding to complex environmental challenges. Start with larger, more predictable obstacles and a slower walking pace. The goal isn't speed, it's a smooth, controlled navigation while maintaining the challenging heel-to-toe pattern. As you improve, make the obstacles smaller and less predictable. Add more of them, and gradually increase your walking pace. Here's the advanced progression that really transforms this exercise into a comprehensive balance training system. Add cognitive challenges while navigating. Count backward from 100 by sevens. Recite the alphabet backward, or name items in a specific category like types of birds or vegetables. This dual tasking mirrors real life where balance challenges rarely happen in isolation, but often occur while you're thinking about other things, having conversations, or processing complex information. The neuroplasticity benefits of this type of complex balance training extend far beyond fall prevention. Studies suggest that challenging balance training that incorporates cognitive components may help maintain overall brain health and processing speed in older adults. Now we reach movement number 1. And this is the exercise that consistently produces the most dramatic improvements in the shortest time. It's called the single leg stand with controlled perturbation, and it directly addresses the most common cause of falls in people over 60, the inability to recover quickly when balance is unexpectedly challenged. Most balance exercises train you to maintain stability in predictable conditions, but falls don't happen during predictable conditions. They happen when you step on something unexpected, when someone bumps into you, when you catch your foot on an uneven surface, or when you reach for something and it's not where you expected it to be. Your body needs to be trained for these unpredictable balance challenges. Start by standing on your right leg with your left foot lifted about 6 inches off the ground. Instead of trying to stand perfectly still like a statue, you're going to deliberately introduce small balance challenges while maintaining this single-leg stance. Reach your left arm out to the side, then bring it back to center. Reach it forward, then back. Reach it up overhead, then down. Each arm movement shifts your center of gravity slightly, forcing your standing leg and core muscles to make constant micro-adjustments. This is exactly what happens in real life when unexpected balance challenges occur. Your body learns to make these adjustments automatically and efficiently. But here's where this exercise becomes truly transformative. After 30 seconds of arm movements, you're going to add head movements while continuing the single-leg stance. Look up at the ceiling, then down at the floor. Turn your head slowly to the right, then to the left. These head movements challenge your vestibular system, the balance organs in your inner ear, in ways that most exercises completely ignore. The combination of single-leg stance, arm movements, and head movements creates what researchers call multi-system balance training. Your proprioceptive system in your standing leg gets stronger. Your visual system learns to maintain stability despite changing visual input. Your vestibular system adapts to head position changes. And your core stabilizing muscles develop the endurance to maintain postural control during complex challenges. Dorothy, an 81-year-old grandmother, had given up playing with her grandchildren on the playground because she felt too unsteady on the uneven surfaces and around their unpredictable movements. After mastering the single leg stand with controlled perturbation, she not only returned to playground visits but started taking her grandchildren on nature hikes with rocky trails and fallen logs to navigate. The progression for this exercise is critical for both safety and effectiveness. Start with shorter duration holds, maybe 10 to 15 seconds, and smaller arm movements. Use a wall or chair for light support if needed, but try to rely on it less each day. As you improve, increase the duration to 60 seconds. Make the arm movements larger and more dynamic, and add the head movement component. The advanced version of this exercise incorporates external perturbations. Have a family member gently tap your shoulder or back while you're holding the single leg stance, or practice the exercise while someone tosses you a light ball to catch and return. These external challenges train exactly the kind of unexpected balance disruptions that cause real-world falls. Here's the remarkable thing about this exercise. Most people see dramatic improvements within the first week of practice. Unlike strength training, which can take months to show significant changes, balance training produces noticeable results almost immediately. Your nervous system is incredibly adaptive, and when you challenge it consistently with controlled instability, it responds by becoming more efficient and responsive. But the benefits extend far beyond fall prevention. People who master single-leg stance with perturbation report feeling more confident in all their daily activities, from navigating stairs to reaching into high cabinets to walking on uneven surfaces. There's something about knowing your body can handle unexpected balance challenges that transforms how you move through the world. The key to success with all 7 of these movements is consistency rather than intensity. 15 minutes of daily practice will produce far better results than an hour of practice once a week. Your balance system needs regular, frequent challenges to maintain and improve its responsiveness. Think of balance training like learning a language. You wouldn't expect to become fluent by studying intensively once a week and ignoring it the rest of the time. The same principle applies to balance skills. Little and often beats occasional intensive sessions every time. Here's how to structure your practice for maximum benefit. Start with movement 7 and practice it until you feel confident, usually 3 to 5 days. Then add movement 6 while continuing to practice movement 7. Continue this progression, adding one new movement every few days while maintaining practice of the previous movements. By the end of 2 weeks, you'll be practicing all 7 movements in a complete routine that takes about 15 minutes. The order matters because each movement builds skills that support the next one. The weight shift walk develops basic dynamic stability that you need for the tandem stance progression. The tandem stance builds the narrow base balance required for more advanced movements. Each exercise creates a foundation for the next, leading up to the comprehensive challenge of single-leg stance with perturbation. Safety considerations are paramount, especially when you're first starting. Always practice near a sturdy wall or chair that you can use for support if needed. Wear supportive shoes with good traction. Never practice in socks or smooth-soled shoes. If you feel dizzy or lightheaded during any exercise, stop immediately and consult with your healthcare provider before continuing. Listen to your body's signals. Some mild muscle fatigue in your legs and core is normal and beneficial. Sharp pains, joint discomfort, or persistent dizziness are signs to modify the exercise or seek professional guidance. The goal is gradual, sustainable improvement, not pushing through pain or discomfort. Consider your individual health conditions when adapting these exercises. If you have neuropathy in your feet, you might need to rely more on visual cues and practice near support initially. If you have inner ear issues, the head movement components might need to be introduced more gradually. If you have arthritis in your knees or hips, you might need to modify the range of motion in some movements. The beautiful thing about these 7 movements is how adaptable they are to different fitness levels and physical limitations. Every exercise can be made easier or harder depending on your current abilities and progression goals. The fundamental movement patterns remain the same whether you're using wall support or practicing without any assistance. But here's what most people don't realize about balance training, and this might be the most important point in this entire discussion. The confidence you gain from improved balance skills often has a greater impact on your quality of life than the physical improvements themselves. When you know your body can handle unexpected challenges, you naturally become more active, more social, and more willing to engage in activities you might have started avoiding. This psychological component creates a positive feedback loop. Better balance leads to increased confidence, which leads to more activity, which further improves balance and overall fitness. Many people find that balance training becomes the gateway to a more active and engaged lifestyle, not just a method for preventing falls. The research on this is compelling. Studies following people who complete comprehensive balance training programs show not just reduced fall rates but increased activity levels, improved social engagement, and higher self-reported quality of life scores. The physical improvements enable lifestyle changes that have far-reaching benefits. As you progress through these 7 movements, pay attention to how your relationship with your body changes. Many people report feeling more connected to their physical capabilities, more aware of their posture and movement patterns, and more confident in their ability to navigate challenging environments. This body awareness, what scientists call proprioceptive enhancement, extends into all aspects of daily life. You might notice that you naturally stand taller, move more efficiently, and feel more grounded and stable in all your activities. These changes happen gradually, but they tend to be long-lasting when supported by consistent practice. The habit of daily balance training often becomes a cornerstone of healthy aging, not just an isolated exercise routine. People discover that the 15 minutes spent on these movements becomes a time of mindful connection with their body, a daily check-in with their physical capabilities, and a source of confidence and accomplishment. Remember that aging doesn't have to mean declining balance and mobility. Your nervous system retains remarkable adaptability throughout your lifetime, and challenging it appropriately can not only maintain, but actually improve your balance skills well into your later years. The key is providing the right type and amount of challenge consistently over time. These 7 movements represent decades of research into what actually works for maintaining and improving balance in older adults. They're not theoretical exercises, but practical, proven methods that address the real-world balance challenges that people over 60 face every day. The investment of 15 minutes a day in balance training can literally transform how you experience aging. Instead of gradually withdrawing from activities due to balance concerns, you can maintain and even expand your activity levels with confidence. Instead of fearing falls, you can trust your body's ability to handle unexpected challenges. Your balance system is incredibly sophisticated and remarkably trainable. By challenging it systematically with these 7 movements, you're not just preventing falls. You're investing in your independence, your confidence, and your ability to live life fully regardless of your age. The choice is yours. You can accept declining balance as an inevitable part of aging, or you can take 15 minutes a day to actively maintain and improve this critical system. The 7 movements I've shared with you provide a clear, practical path to better balance and greater confidence in your daily life. Now, I'm curious to hear from you. Which of these 7 balance movements resonates most with your current needs, and what's holding you back from starting a daily balance practice? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know where you plan to begin your balance training journey.